Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here or if you're like me and you're finding your way back here, hello. As most of you guys know, I've been gone for about 6 months, which is also when I had my gastric bypass. I'm here to give you a 6-month update, provide any answers to any questions that I saw in the comment section, and just give you guys a few tips. If you are going into getting a gastric bypass or you just want to know a little bit more information, stay tuned. If you have any more questions, please leave it in the comment sections below. I can make more videos if you have more questions, so please just ask if you do, and let's get into this. So like I said, not only has it been 6 months since I posted on this channel, it's also been 6 months since I had my gastric bypass surgery. I guess it's more leaning into like 7 months now. I had my gastric bypass on July 7th, 2021. It wasn't at the height of the pandemic. It was a little bit later in the pandemic. So I had a pretty normal experience when it comes to that. I firstly would like to say that I loved my surgeon. From the moment that I spoke to my surgeon, I was very confident in his work and I was very confident in who he was as a person. In my last few videos, I chatted a lot about how insecure I felt every time I went to go see a doctor, and that definitely has not, it doesn't just go away, but I was very nervous to meet with a doctor, and I really wanted to find a surgeon who believed in the work that they do, and not just to make people skinny, but to help people change their life and change their health. My surgeon made it very clear from the first appointment that I had with him that weight gain is only partially on you, and also there's genetics involved and there's just a lot of other things. So from the moment that I met my surgeon, me and my family felt very comfortable with him, which was great, and that was all through Zoom because of COVID. So it was great that I felt his warmth, and I felt just how good of a doctor he was going to be through the phone or through the computer. So first things first, I would just like to say I love my surgeon, and that's the first thing that you really have to find. Is the person that you are looking to doing your surgery behind you, or are they just you're fat, you need to lose weight? Because that's the exact opposite of what I wanted. I've been to enough doctors who told me that you're fat, lose weight, it's your fault, and that's just not what I wanted, and that's not what I got. So I got my surgery July 7th, 2021, which was a great experience. I did my pre-op meal, everything with the liquid shakes, which I will link down below if you haven't watched those videos. And I mean, that was rough. As you guys see, I documented the entire process, and I told you guys I'd document post-surgery, but let me tell you why I didn't. So like I said, surgery was fine. I stayed in the hospital for a day and a half. So pain-wise, I would say that the actual surgery was not painful at all. However, once the pain meds wore down and once I was able to feel the gas that was in my stomach, that's where the pain really set in. Since it is a laparoscopic surgery, the doctors, I have 6 incisions and they blow air into those incisions. So once I was able to feel that gas, that's when it really hurt. That lasted for about 4 to 5 days. And I would say it was pretty painful. Anything I would, if I was just sitting, if I was sipping water, if I was eating Jello, that pain would come. And the thing that I did mostly for the first week after surgery was sleep or walk around to alleviate the gas. I would say that's the biggest thing you can do is walk, because for some reason that really pushes the gas around, causes you to burp, it causes you to pass gas, which might be gross, but that's exactly what you need to do once you're done with the laparoscopic surgery. So after I was done with the pain and everything, it was 6 weeks post-op when I went back to working out and everything. The weight dropped off pretty quickly. At this point, about 7 months post-op, I've lost around 85 pounds. And I will say it does come with stalls. So I hit a stall when I was at 3 weeks, I hit a stall at 6 weeks, and then multiple times throughout the last 7 months. And if I'm being honest, that stall at 3 weeks really freaked me out. I was just did I just go through all this for nothing? Is it not going to work? Am I going to be the one person who this doesn't work for? And I'm here to tell you that's just not going to happen. It's going to work for you. If you get a surgery as big as a gastric bypass, you will have, hopefully, the results that your surgeon told you. Mine have been pretty on par with what he said was going to happen. So if you would like to know more about stalls, how you can break them and things like that, leave it in the comment section below and I can do a whole nother video about the mental side of stalls, about what's actually happened during your stalls. We can talk about that later if you really have any questions about that. But let's get into some tips that I can give you if you are getting your gastric bypass or if you are thinking about it. So, like I said, I've lost around 85 pounds at this point. I've dropped 2 dress sizes. I'm between a mid-size and plus size right now, and I've never been this size in my adult life, so I am happy with my results. But let's get into some of the things that I've chatted about in old videos so I can address those. So first things first, with protein shakes, I found that the best thing that I could do for protein shakes pre-surgery and post-surgery was make my own. I also have IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome, so I cannot eat artificial sweeteners. It really upsets my stomach and causes me to have a lot of pain. And most protein shakes that you buy at grocery stores are going to have artificial sweeteners. So what I found best is to make my own shakes, to make them at the top of the day, make 4 or 5, and then I would just have them in the fridge when I needed them. That's what I found to be the best with protein shakes. Second, transitioning into normal foods. It's really important that you wait until you are supposed to eat normal solid foods until it is time. I found that I was so exhausted from eating Jell-O, mashed potatoes, protein shakes, liquids. I was so tired of it. At that point, it had been, I think, 2.5 weeks before surgery and then 3 to 4 weeks post-surgery. So for a good month and a half, all I was eating was just soft foods or just liquids, and I was tired of it. But it's really important that you stick to the plan that your doctor gives you, simply because around 6 weeks, I was feeling normal. I felt perfectly fine, but that does not mean that my organ that just got cut into and 2/3 of it taken out, that felt normal, So it's really important that even though you feel normal, you have to be mindful that your stomach might not feel normal, and eating solid foods is just going to hurt you. So eat your Jell-O, eat your mashed potatoes, eat your soup. Just be mindful, because it does hurt if you try to break that. I tried, it didn't work. Also, don't get food that you think, well, I'll just chew it really, really small. It doesn't work. Just go with the plan. It'll get better, I promise. Third, my obsession with weighing myself. I chatted about this a lot in my videos that I made pre-surgery about how I do have an obsessive disorder when it comes to weighing myself. However, this hasn't been a really big issue post-surgery, and I will tell you why. About a year before I decided to get this surgery, I started therapy. I also had a personal trainer. So with the combination of those two people, I made it very clear that my biggest fear was that this surgery would throw me back into that disordered eating style of making sure that I ate little portions or weighing myself every day, and that is not what I wanted at all. So I made sure that me and my personal trainer and my therapist set up a plan. I was going to weigh myself every Wednesday in the morning time. As soon as I woke up, I would put that into my app, and I would not open the app again. And I also would not weigh myself throughout the week. And I have stuck to this for the last 7 months. This is not to say that I do not think about it, because I think about it regularly. It's just what it is. I have an addiction when it comes to that, and I have to be mindful of that, but I don't do it. It's a boundary that I refuse to break, and I haven't in the last 7 months, and I'm really proud of that. So I would say if you have an eating disorder, or if you are recovering from an eating disorder, or just disordered eating in general, just make sure that you're not just going to the surgery thinking about the physical aspects, but also the mental aspects of it. Get a therapist. It helps. You can work with your nutritionist through whatever surgery you have. Use all of your resources to make sure that you do not fall into a cycle that you really don't want to fall back into. That brings me to body dysmorphia. So I talked about this a little bit in the videos I made before surgery. And I will say my struggles with body dysmorphia have not stopped. They have simply changed. It's really difficult for me to envision my new body, so to speak. When I think about myself, I still think about myself at the weight that I was for majority of my life. So shopping is a little bit hard, because I'll pick up my old size, or I don't really notice how much weight I've lost until I'm looking on camera, until I've seen a picture with someone who I knew was smaller than me pre-surgery. So I would say it's important to know that whereas some places mentally, weighing myself, I've been pretty good at, And on other spots with body dysmorphia, I haven't been great with. It doesn't really get me down. I try not to let it get me down, but it is a shift. Going through a complete body change in your like young adult life is difficult, and it's difficult for me to see myself in any other way. However, I am working towards that, and I am working on accepting what my body is right now and just being happy with that. I spoke a lot about my PCOS in one of my videos, and just as an update to that, nothing with my PCOS has really changed. I was off both birth control for a little bit when it was time for surgery because birth control can cause blood clots. So my surgeon wanted to make sure that I didn't have any clotting issues post-surgery. So I was off of it for about 6 weeks post-surgery. And then I did get back on birth control. My cycles have been normal with the birth control, and that's really the only update that I have with my PCOS. Now, the biggest thing that I chat about in those videos, and the thing that is still like hard to talk about, but also I think is the most important, is the failure aspect of the surgery. I mentioned a lot in those videos that I was really upset because I felt like I failed myself. Like I felt like I was the reason, or the sole reason, that I gained as much weight as I did, and that I failed because I couldn't lose the weight by myself. And I just wanted you to know that like, I just don't feel that way anymore. I didn't fail. I made a really good decision that I really think is going to help change my entire life. It's made me happier. I feel lighter. I'm able to do the same workouts that I was doing before. I'm able to play tennis faster. I'm able to go to a store and not feel as much anxiety. I went on a plane and I had extra room on the seatbelt. These are like really small things that you don't think about, how much anxiety that being a bigger person gives, but it did give me a lot of anxiety that has not gone away, but it has quieted, you know? So if you think that you're a failure because you're getting the surgery, if anyone's making you feel like a failure because you're getting the surgery, just like, you have to put that in the back of your head. You have to do it in spite of that feeling. And hopefully when you get the surgery, like me, you'll feel like you didn't fail. You just made the best decision for you. I want to run through 5 quick tips that I can give you if you are getting the gastric bypass, so that you have a positive experience like I have. First, you have to get in the gym. It's really important that you are gaining strength while losing weight. I haven't had any issues with loose skin, and I think that is simply because I've been strength training since 6 weeks post-op when I was able to go back to the gym. I mentioned this in prior videos, but I've always worked out 3 to 4 times a week. But post-surgery, it was so weird because I could not engage my core. And when I tell you I couldn't, I mean like I couldn't squeeze anything together. Everything just felt loose. And I think that's just because you're not allowed to engage your core up to 6 weeks post-surgery to protect your stomach, to protect your incisions. So when I went back to the gym, I literally told my trainer, like, first things first, I need to get my core, I need my core to engage. So I was basically on a plan for the same plan that a woman who got a C-section would get. So it's really important that you go back to the gym. Second, it's really important that you drink water all day. My doctor recommended that I get the normal 64 ounces of water a day. However, pre-surgery, if I was really thirsty, I would just chug water and then I'd be good for a few hours. That is not an option now. You cannot chug water. It hurts so bad if you try. So it's really important that you drink water from the moment you wake up until you go to bed. So you're getting your 64 ounces because it's little droplets per like a few hours. So make sure that you're drinking water all day. Another thing you have to do every day is you have to take your vitamins. It's really important. I take 3 pills of calcium a day, 2 multivitamins, and 1 vitamin D. And I take those every single day. And it's really important that you take your vitamins every single day. When I don't take my vitamins, I feel lethargic. I don't feel up to it because your body doesn't absorb vitamins the way that it used to. So make sure you're getting your vitamins in every single day. Fourth, it's really important that you learn your body cues post-surgery. And what I mean by that is how your body reacts to it being full. I went from eating an entire portion of food. In America, we have really big portions of food. So let's use a burger, for example. If I were to go get a burger, I would eat the entire burger. I would eat all of my fries, and I would drink a large drink. That is how if I wanted to go get a burger, okay? Now, if I want to go get a burger, I could eat, and this is 7 months post-op, I could eat half of a burger, maybe 2 or 3 fries, and no drink. So let's think about what it was right when I was able to eat normal foods. That was probably a fourth of a burger, no fries, no drink. Things change very quickly. It's really important that you realize you cannot eat a lot of food, and if you try to eat a lot of food, you will cause yourself a lot of pain. It hurts when you overeat. So it's really important that you know your body's cues. When I get full, I burp and my stomach gets a little tighter. So I know it's time for me to stop eating. That changes for everyone. I've seen online that some people say they get like a runny nose when they're full. Some people get the hiccups when they're full. Like, it just depends on your body, but you have to figure out those cues so you can best eat as much as you need. And you don't want to undereat by any means. You're not getting enough calories for that. You want to eat as much as your body needs. Also, this is the last tip that I'll give you. I'm actually gonna make it 6 tips. Tip number 5, do not eat and drink at the same time. It hurts. You need to eat your meal and then you can drink about 30 minutes later. That's what my doctor recommended. And anytime I've tried eating and drinking at the same time, it has been a bad idea. Last tip I will give you, tip number 6, is join Facebook groups. Your doctor's office might have a Facebook group, or you could just Google like Gastric Bypass groups. Those communities on Facebook have really helped me, especially the first 2 months after surgery when I had no idea what to expect, when I was getting stalls and I didn't know if that was normal, when I was having like pain for 7 days because I was so gassy and I didn't know what to do. Like, those, just finding a community of people who know what you're going through and people who you can ask those questions to is really important. And also, sometimes because I get anxious and I don't want to ask questions, I just scroll, and usually I can find the question that I have, and there's hundreds of comments per post. So that has been so helpful for me. Like I said, if you have any further questions, please leave it in the comment section below. I am not a YouTuber. This is not my job. I'm a teacher and I do a lot of things in my normal day life. But if you have questions, please leave them down below. I would love to answer those questions for you. This is always going to be my candid life, and I will always post on here a little bit. But if you have any specific questions, if you have any specific videos, I was thinking maybe we could do a what I eat in a day, what I eat in a week, just so you can have like an idea of what someone 7 months post-op is eating. Or if you have a question about stalls, if you have a question about anything in regards to this procedure or anything else, just leave it down below and I will try to get back to you guys. This is my candid life. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you here next time. Bye, guys.